Hello everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming, and we're coming to you today with just a random upload with my Blademaster character. If you've been paying attention to the videos, last week I encountered a bit of an unfortunate luck streak with Repkosai, my Blademaster, and I've lost most of my gear. I haven't quite attained the items I used to have. Sadly lost the item from the Sports Day event. That's probably gone forever. I don't think I'll see that event again. But who knows? Maybe you get lucky. With the way that the community is working on Fragment, who knows? Maybe it's only a matter of months before the event system gets cracked and they're able to just pop them up whenever. But for the time being, we could assume that is gone. And we're just slowly trying to work to rebuild the pieces. One of the main things I could tell you is to find a field where you feel comfortable that's fairly challenging for you at that level, and just sort of hold on to that field in your warp history as a place to go back and grind a little experience. Here we are. I believe the keywords I hit here are false undead reality. See some sort of strange cosmic whale thing up in the sky. It looked kinda neat, so I popped in first person just to take a look at it. There's that weird sorta droning sound in the background to key in. Again, the backgrounds and just the little things just sorta set this off as something special every time you play the game. But this is a field that helped me get to level 30. False undead reality on storytime dungeons. So I tend to run it, and I've run it about 2 or 3 times here, just trying to build back gold and get my way back, get some better gear, and get my consumables up. Here we're just sort of bounding through the field, picking up some white cherries, see some monsters coming up behind us. We've got a pair of mantis entering frame there from the left. Got Aptorv and Apcorv up, and I believe, I want to say it's Riggeem is the skill points regenerator. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure it's Riggeem though. We're just going to go ahead and take these mantises out. Getting a fair bit of experience for them. I like running into larger enemies that just do damage. It sounds a little boring, but you need a little boring every now and then. Too often, especially once you get up in level even a little bit. See the shadow on the ground as another one of those whales go up, but you find yourself in situations that are just flat out unfair. We'll run into a couple of those here throughout this video. Managed to handle them through, grace, good gear, and good luck, but gonna take out the last couple portals here and then head into the dungeon. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're doing well. Hope life is finding you at least fair in 2020. The swift kick in the jollies this year has been. Not gonna lie, right now my least favorite thing about this field is the snow. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm sort of tired and not in the best mood, or maybe it's the fact that here where I live the temperature literally dropped about 20 degrees over the course of today. It started out nice and warm, and I was told it was even warmer out to where my one distributor delivers from. And by the end of the day, I regretted taking as light a coat in as I did, and it was just gray and cloudy. But either way, not feeling so great, not in the best mood. Definitely hitting a capital G on the grumpy in the channel title there. But we're going to do our best to keep up a happy face as we get through this snowy field. Got a couple cursed blades sneaking up on us. No real challenge in these. They're sort of our gimme enemy here, and you can see they're only dropping 5 experience a pop there. still, you gotta watch when they hit in tandem, especially if they get around with a Mantis, because the Mantis has the ability to throw some stupid damage out there if it casts that attack buff that that entire line seems to have inherently. Mantis is of course a higher level of the Squilla Demon you'll have recognized in some earlier episodes. Here we come up on Woodstock. Not even gonna try for a music joke. Not my spot. I throw a Rai-Rom out there because I honestly forgot what spell I had equipped, and just for the heck of it I drain. I've got Drain Arc equipped. In a previous video I got Drain Arc instead of just the regular Data Drain, and yeah, I know it takes the extra 10, and if you're not careful you could really raise your level, but when you're in a funk, and especially when you're in those like 3 Minior battles, if you could get 2 Protect breaks on them and hit them simultaneously, that's just golden. I'm gonna call my boy the Noble Grunty, the thing that stood with me even through a character wipe, and we're just gonna ride it to the dungeon here. Pass about a 500,000 white cherries along the way. Footage got a little choppy there, I'm not sure why. We were kind of moving in and out and doing all kinds of stuff in the house. Maybe the bandwidth was a little chewed up there. My apologies for that. Take down another Cursed Blades there, and a second one comes in off frame. So yeah, off frame to the left seems... I went for the stupid twirling attack. Could have taken it down in 2 hits, but instead I took twice as long just for the attack. Pick up the white cherries. Again, building up that grunty food supply. And in the dungeon we go. Really gotta question the sanity going in these dungeons. There's a frozen mammoth that's clearly trampled the roof in right at the entrance. Doesn't seem like a smart place to walk in. That could cave at literally any time. There's our status. We're about 749 experience, heading towards level 31 at this point. Got some solid equipment. Got Nadaku back, my water element sword. You'll recognize that from a bunch of the earlier videos and from a good deal of the Weekend Warrior videos. Speaking of which, one of those dropping tomorrow. Hope you watch that. Hope you enjoyed as much as I'll enjoy recording for it. Yeah, this footage is really choppy, actually. So we've got a couple Moo Guardians here. And the great thing about Moo Guardians is you're watching the video and you didn't have to deal with them. If you've played any of the .hack R1 games, you know, these guys are probably on your top 5 most hated enemies lists. They're way too fast. They constantly change spells. You get groups of them. They're just insane. Actually, there's 4 Moo Guardians casting at once that caused the first crash on me. I'm blaming it on that. That's what was going on when the game crashed. I don't know what actually caused the crash, but F the Moo Guardians. Pick up the death up out of that chest, and back we go. Seem to notice that larger rooms cause a little bit of signal lag too. Yeah, that cross room in particular is really messing with this capture. See, small rooms like this, it's fairly smooth. Here we've got 3 Cursed Blades, and we take them all down with the fancy spinning attack that couldn't even take one down out in the field. Guess we're a bit more limber now that we've thawed out. Pick another death up out of the chest. Nothing ominous or foreboding about that for today. Seem to have an app forma up. I think we got that out of a symbol outside. That's magic defense up, if I recall. Somebody pointed out on the Discord last week about the green and blue up symbols for the boosts correlating to your health and mana bars, which would also correlate to your antidotes and restoratives. So little clues like that baked into the user interface are why this game's really got a lot of depth for just a vanilla dungeon crawler, which is essentially what the online mode is. There isn't really much of a story to even the single player mode, and the online mode is hop in a server with some folks and kill monsters. But you look at these things and you notice that the physical ailments and bonuses are in green, and the magical ones, the more mind-related ones, are in blue, which correlate to your bars and everything. And you realize there was a lot of thought and care put into this stuff. And there's really as much there as you care to delve out of it. And then there's people like me who go crazy and just, find any scrap that looks like the epitaph of Twilight and throw it together in a Word doc on your computer. Who perhaps take a bit too much out of this. But we're having fun, right? That corpse warrior is not having fun, so we'll put what's left of him out of its misery. Grab a fire bracer out of this chest here and finish clearing the room before moving on. Floor 1 here, thank you again for joining us. Coming out of the portal here, we got a couple cursed blades. Looks like a treasure room just off to the side here. Let's go check that out before going any further. Decided to use the fairies orbs. Maybe that was causing a bit of lag to all of the extra developed rooms on the map. I hope not. Because I gotta admit, it was nice knowing what was ahead and not backtracking quite as much as I typically do, or just saying F it and going down to the next floor. Although with the amount of time I spent doing captures, that would have probably been a good idea in hindsight to just say F it and go down to the next floor. I'm just noticing now with the blue and yellow, paint scheme in this dungeon, the Moo Guardians are kind of color coordinated. Obviously you don't read too much into that stuff. Just a coincidence on this part, but man. F the Moo Guardians. If you guys want, go ahead and throw that down in the comments too. Let's see how many F the Moo Guardians I could get down there. Take those guys out. One nice thing about them is they're giving us 9 experience a pop. Again, we started the dungeon, right around 250 experience to go for the next level up. So I feel pretty confident that if everything goes right, we'll hit level 31 before the end of this. Here, got this nice little side view shot of us running, a little action close up there. Moving down to the second floor. Buffs are both down, so we're gonna wait till we get to the end of this room here. Check out what's ahead of us. No safe room, so we gotta cast those buffs now if we want to use them in battle. Cast Step Core first. I don't know why. Guess it's just the natural left to right thing for me for reading. Maybe I just like looking at floating targets over my head, so I save Aptorb for second. I've got my shortcuts mapped out, so that L1 plus square casts Aptorb and L1 plus circle casts Aptorb, in case you're wondering where the left to right comment comes from. And if you weren't wondering, enjoy those 15 seconds of unnecessary explanation. Move into this little T-shaped room here. And another Moo Guardian, my bestest friend in the whole wide world. And oh look, he brought me pain in the form of giant rocks. Saw he had that little shield ability pop up, which I guess means the Moo Guardians are also part of the Shield Guardian set. Makes sense, they both got Guardians in the title. Both nimble. I don't know, I don't put a lot of pieces together until I'm sitting here doing commentary. It's really about the only time I'm thinking about it. Most of the time I'm just cursing in my head and hoping I don't die. That's a healthy way to approach a video game, right? Grab a pure water out of that corpse, which means again it didn't die of dehydration. And the devil out of that box. Moving back up, our little detour through the tiny treasure rooms completed. Complete with a box of devil. Isn't that something? Pick a restorative up out of the jar, move out of the room with a nice little pool in it, into a room with 2 Goyle Manir. Not such a big deal now, especially with Nautiku, because both of its skill attacks are multi-target hit if you can get them close enough. So we're just going to get them both down to the, 1 hit or less range. Do our little spiral attack. I believe it's through revolver, but I'm just going to keep calling it the little spiral attack because that's the technical term. That's how the pros call it. Moving into this long diagonal hallway. Diagonal hallways, again, fairly safe room, so we're just going to hack up the boxes, grab some pure water. Hydration is important, kids. Pick the Hanged Man up off of that one, and Death off the chest opposite. And we've got a couple barrels down here. Antidote out of that one, and the second barrel was empty, but it made a satisfying sound. Satisfying being one of the 10 words I hate saying. Satisfying. Yeah, still hate it. Long hallway here, moving down to the 3rd floor. Now I'm just having a little fun. Once again, popping a fairy's orb here. Kind of neat seeing the rooms laid out little at a time. Once again, walking right up to a portal in this medium-sized corridor, and we've got a red scissors, a Goyle Manir, and a Moo Guardian. And this is one of these battles that just doesn't seem fair outright. You've got damage up close, you've got damage at a distance, and you've got paralyzed. So at that point, there's not much to do but have my fingers readied on the shortcut for my potion, and hope, like we did there, that we manage to sustain the level of damage thrown at us until the paralyze wears off. Manir was the top priority. We were lucky that the red scissors circled back around to us and was in melee range immediately after the Manir fell. You would think the Moo Guardian would be a prime concern once I get rid of the resurrection threat, but honestly it moves so fast I'd rather get rid of the red scissors. That way I don't have to worry about being paralyzed again. I could at least potion through a Moo Guardian if I have to. Once you're paralyzed, there's jack you could do. Yeah, larger rooms definitely taxing on this capture. Sorry about the choppy quality, guys. I do apologize. I don't know, I think I may just have to stay up some late nights and make sure everything's okay before posting these. Seems to be okay once we got rid of the items there. I'm sure when we backtrack there'll be a little bit of choppiness. Maybe it's something to do with the amount of room it's got to draw. Speaking of rooms, this one gives us 3 Goyle Manir out of the same portal. That just sucks. Like, if that's a vacuum cleaner, don't worry about dirt being anywhere in your house. There I did just about everything I could, and they were still able to revive, so I got 2 in drain range, and drain I did. Drain arc came in handy. I've only got 1 Goyle Manir left, so he's the target. Mow him down and take out the little wiggle snakes. I didn't know they were called wiggle snakes. What an adorable name. That's great. Now I kind of want to data drain more Manir just to face wiggle snakes. Maybe make a D&D character and name him Wiggle Snake. What do you think? What's the better title for this? F the Moo Guardian or Wiggle Snake? I think I've got to give the edge to Wiggle Snake. Also, I'm kind of getting sick of saying that too. It is no longer satisfying. Yeah, it's a little choppy on the run through there. Let's see if it smooths out here once we get to the side door. Yeah, it smoothed out a little. Something about drawing long distances. Thankfully, this dungeon's mostly medium rooms. Not so thankfully, we run into a pair of red scissors and a Goyle Menhir. Gets a little choppy here with all of the animation, but don't worry, we're not moving, we're paralyzed. Just get out of that one. We were getting down below half. I was a little worried. Take out the Menhir, and now it's just time to bash some red scissors in. Crab's got this weird tie-dye coloration going on. I'd say the crab turtle easily has the most psychedelic pattern, but red scissors is a close second. Like, they're somewhere between, you know, psychedelic crabs and poorly painted Christmas ornaments. That's where I would put that coloration pattern at. Here's another red scissors. Lucky it doesn't have any friends with it, so we just kind of pin it up against the wall there and beat it down. No chest or anything in the room, but it does give us another moment or two to get some of those skill points back. Don't know what I was thinking here. I obviously don't want to clear this room out with portals left on the floor. I could have saved it. This is going to lead to a little unnecessary backtracking. Fortunately, when we try to go down to the 4th floor, will be one less Goyle Menhir and Moo Guardian to our credit. And again, each kill bringing us ever so close to that level 31 mark. That is our goal here. Trying to get leveled up, trying to get the stats up. I was actually hoping not to throw Storytime Dungeons up today, not that I don't love hosting it and love hear about some of the zany stories that come out when it comes. Also, I think anybody who gets the chance to see the server really should. Slistral really outdid himself when he put this together, and I'm glad he made the file public for download. It's a little slice of awesome. But I kind of didn't want to go through all the hassle, have too many things up and running, just kind of wanted to get a couple captures in today. Managed to do it nonetheless. Here we run into 2 Goyle Menhir and a red scissors, so we've run into just about every practical combination of these 2 monsters in tandem. Again, some unfortunate misses there meant that the 2nd Goyle Menhir lived and was able to revive the 1st. And we're going to run into the Menhir repaying the favor. So we've got some chain resurrections going on here before we're finally able to take them out in a fashion that prevents them from reviving. And then the red scissors. A lot of effort into that battle, and the effort pays off as that's what puts us over the mark. We are now level 31. Back up to 103 skill points, pretty close to 700 hit points. Starting to get into big boy range as far as the stats go. These rooms that are just lined by the crates and boxes are some of my favorites. Give you back some healing potions, some restoratives, some antidotes. And then the little chest on the pedestal, the literal cherry on top. Now we've cleared everything in the 3rd floor, and there's little else for us to do but go to the 4th. Just crossing the 25-minute mark in the video. Hope you're enjoying so far. This is a grumpy old guy talking about a grumpy old guy previously gaming. Both of these will be in the past tense by the time you watch it, so how's the future? Yeah, I guess I wasn't going to get an answer there. Whole time travel paradox thing. That said, if you have mastered time travel and you've gone back to the past to tell me just because I asked, shows it never hurts to ask. Thanks. Getting the buffs up again, got a treasure chest right on the other side of the door, so we're just going to grab that. Gives us a fire bracer. Nice little item there. Going to be cashing that in. And 2 cursed blades, another easy cash in. Take the tiniest bit of damage and yeah, 8 more experience to the level 32 fund. Again, those are slightly less tangible bonuses for us because we're 1 level higher, but you know, not really sad about that because we're taking them out nice and quick. Basically free experience at this point. Take the Goyle Minier out like it's going out of style, and that gives us free reign to hack at the red scissors distraction free. Battle mode's over before I could finish that previous sentence. Grabbing the death and moving on. First we dealt the death, then we grabbed the death. Now we feel like death because we're running into Goyle Miniers and multiple red scissors. Lucky on that first paralyze attempt, we just sort of no-sold the whole spell there, and we just keep on swinging. Magic evasion is a very important thing for all classes, especially with those status-altering ones. If you could avoid getting put to sleep or paralyzed, all the better. At that point, not only do you stay in the fight, but you've wasted several seconds in an entire attack cycle of the monsters. That's the shit that gets you your own theme music. Nah, it doesn't. Just hum something. Little semicircle room. Another nice thing about the fairies orbs, I saw it coming instead of it instantly popping up, so I didn't get that stupid moment where I forget my left and right for half a second. Managed to actually angle the camera where I needed it right away. So that's a welcome change if nothing else for these videos. You weren't looking at me looking at a lava pit while the portal opened. I've noticed I've spent over half of this dungeon with my skill points at half. It's probably a good sign that this is right where I need to be as far as difficulty level goes. I'm soloing, it's only a level 28 dungeon I believe, but as you can see, get paralyzed early and we've got 2 red scissors snipping at us while Minier bashes our helmet to, you know, dents. You don't really want to go too much higher than you have to. About even level, maybe a level or 2 under when you're soloing. That way the risk is minimal, but the gains are still tangible. Managed to get through there, though that was far from the prettiest combat. But hey, they're not all going to be perfect. Move to another one of those quarter turn rooms. Right into the portal, there's a treasure chest, and into this little corridor room. Pedestal's empty, but there's still a couple corpses, and, well, we get an antidote out of it that's better than nothing. Gonna keep on trucking here. Got one of those weird sorta... Not really sure how to describe these rooms, like half of a rectangle maybe? But we pop a red scissors and 2 cursed blades. Real easy to prioritize, and once big crab's out of the way, we go knock those swords out of the sky. Trapped chest there on the ground. Let's see what we get out of it. And the winner is an iron anklet. If you've got iron anklet on your .hack equipment bingo card, make sure to put a chip down. We're not running for the world record of dumb jokes here, it's just where I'm at on commentary. Got a C-shaped room coming up. Couple chests on the left of our map, and a portal smack dab in the middle of the hallway on the right. So we're gonna go for the chest first, because stuff is good. Had another Boxo Devil there. Run into a pair of cursed blades. Now you can't hear it here because I've got the commentary down, but you could hear the stomping in the background, and the only creature that was making that stomping sound when it moved was a Goyle Menhir. I just about finish off that red scissors before the Menhir actually physically makes himself known, and I intentionally held up there with mere maybe a couple dozen hit points at most left. But I was able to get them both down to virtually nothing, finish them both off simultaneously with a Rue Revolver. And that's about the best way to handle the Menhir if you can. Get them and everything else low, and then just one finishing strike for everything. Don't let those res hit if they don't have to. If you can avoid it, it's worth the SP just to get rid of that battle. Menhir are tricky, and their attacks are strong. Also, data drain's a possibility, simply to say wiggle snake more. Disarm that trap chest there, and it gives us a flare guard, so we're picking up all sorts of fiery equipment here. You could typically expect that out of a water field. I have known that. I have noticed that. Known that. Sorry guys, I do not profess to be an expert at this, or apparently spoken English, but I do try to pick up on things, and I have noticed if you run water element fields, especially in the 20s, you get a lot of fiery equipment back. Maybe an opposite elements thing? I don't know. I guess it's just the element of the stuff that fits in that level. Finally, that paralyzation wears off, and there's just the worst thing about being asleep or paralyzed. Because you're completely helpless. There's nothing you can do. Once again, the reason I say the most important part of .hack games is partying up. Got a Setetsu out of that one chest. That's a twin blade weapon. I believe it's got the critical strike ability on it, if I remember right. So we're picking up some nice items here. Take out a red scissors, and now we're back to Moo Guardians, your friend and mine. Doing a nice bit of damage to him. The level up has pushed us over that 200 damage with the buff. Heck, I still think it's great that you get the big giant numbers when it goes to triple digits. Pick the Hanged Man up out of that chest, and we've got a couple rooms diverging there. Sorry, I forgot to hit the Fairy's Orb, and it's a good thing I did, because I was about to continue to the left there, and as you see, we have that little rectangle room with a chest at the very end. If you see a room like that in a map layout, that's typically the statue room. That's the end of the dungeon, as it were. So we're going to go the opposite way and clear out some of these other portals. Again, we're building experience and we're building gold. We want to get those consumables back up so the next time we party up with Repkosai, our intrepid Blademaster, he is ready to go. You never know when adventure will strike, and you never know when events will strike. I mean, I started playing in August, and I know of at least 4 times the New Year's event has popped up. Maybe 1 or 2 more times I had heard people mentioning it on the Discord servers. And that Sports Day event was incredible. I believe there's a capture out there of the Christmas event too. Just some crazy things that literally pop up out of nowhere. Really makes just logging in to play the game a joy. Additionally, the bulletin board is live now, the old BBS. So if one of your favorite parts of playing Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, or Quarantine was going on to those forums and seeing what the different players would say, you get to do that in real life now, and you even get to add in. If you're having problems posting, that seems to be a pretty frequently asked question so far. For some reason, the bulletin board, the way it is, isn't accepting posts with identical titles. So if you're responding to something, just go ahead and change a little thing in the title. Earlier I did that. I'd responded to something and the person had a colon in, so I just took out the colon for a semicolon. Just something that simple, or maybe adding a space in, or a 1 or a 2. You know, get creative. But it is great. It's literally like you're a part of the world of the world. Such a goofy sentence to say. I don't know. I had a fanboy moment there. Back to the commentary. Red Scissors and Moo Guardians in tandem are great for dragging you back to, virtual reality. Without the fancy headset. Just gonna finish off this Guardian here. We got 1 more room on this branch. Get our boosts back up just in case there's something particularly nasty here. And pick up a bearcat egg. Yeah, a couple red scissors. Nothing too bad here. I know 2 floors ago, 2 red scissors made it sound like they shot me in the foot. But last level, we've seen far more than we have left to do. Guess there's room for optimism on the 5th floor. Got a little bit of backtracking here, so I'm going to take my time to plug some different things. First off, my buddy Derek over at Dadbod Delights puts out a couple videos a week. I believe he uploads twice a week, at least once a week, twice when he can. Just simple, makes recipes start to finish, easy to understand, covers a wide variety of things. Your more traditional meals, quick meals, hearty things, does a lot of soups. He's done keto-friendly things, he's done vegetarian things. Just cool stuff to check out. Again, the channel is Dadbod Delights. This will be out on Saturday, so I'm assuming as we hit the last portal here, it's a Moo Guardian. I'm assuming his next video should be out tomorrow, unless something comes up. I know he's a busy guy, got wife and 3 daughters and all sorts of hectic stuff. He's still in the Navy Reserves and everything. But if you get a chance, go check out his channel. A lot of good recipe ideas over there. Get to the statue room here. Get a lightning cap, a rainbow card and make that 2 rainbow cards. So a nice little payoff there. Just gonna go ahead and exit out of here, but first I'm gonna be we're gonna check the status page. Yeah, an even third of the way to level 32, and I'm gonna be a bit of a derp here and accidentally hit a fairy's orb because I forgot what a Sprite Ocarina was. But I'm gonna exit out now. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.